Okay, so you've been asked to establish the identity sine of alpha plus beta, subtracting sine of alpha minus beta is equal to 2 times cosine of alpha times cosine of beta, sine of beta. Now this one isn't really as hard as it looks. All you need to know is that your 2 is your sum and difference formulas for adding and as well as subtracting, because we need both right here, subtracting and adding. So these guys right here, sine of alpha plus beta is just sine, cosine, cosine, sine, alpha, beta, and you're adding these guys. Sine of alpha minus beta is equal to sine, cosine, cosine, sine, alpha, beta, minus alpha, beta. And literally you're just going to find these values right here and multiply these ones together, and then you add them if you're adding them here, and you subtract them if you're subtracting them here. So in this case we'll just write down exactly what was stated right here. Sine of alpha plus beta is equal to this right here, sine alpha cosine beta multiplied, add cosine beta multiplied by sine of alpha on that side, and then the same thing on this side, except remember that this is negative over here if we're doing a sum and difference formula right here for this one, whereas this one was adding here. This one's negative. And remember that the whole goal here is to make this side right here look like this side, and that it's easier to start with the side which has less, more to work with. And so when you expand this all out, all I did right here is I took this negative and I distributed it through. So notice that that was positive, this is negative over here. You take out that negative right here, or distribute it, and it's like you're adding a negative version of this and a positive version of this instead. And so when you do that, notice that this side looks like exactly like that side, except it's negative, so I canceled those out. And you're left with cosine beta multiplied by sine alpha, and the same thing on this side. So if you have 2 copies of those, all they are is just this right here, added together. And that 2 times the cosine beta, sine beta, is what the original side looked like.